Hello everyone and welcome back to FIA Formula 2. It is time for qualifying here in Chicago in a round which could decide the championship. It is great for this championship to be back as we get ready to end off what has been an absolutely extraordinary season which has belonged mainly to one man. But we've still got lots of fights to happen in the remaining races this season, and well, we're acting like the champion's crowned. It isn't. Still, Jayden cannot crown it today. By the end of today, he can maybe by the end of tomorrow, which is the more likely option. Overtaking opportunities, we have got aplenty. First of all, turn number one with a lot of curb runoff. You will see later on in the thumbnails in the weekend, drivers can be forced off at the first turn, and side by side in the bridge. You'll also see that in the thumbnails as well. And if anyone is able to make a move, then it's absolutely extraordinary. These cars, most of the time, staying and sticking to the ground, unlike what you'll see later on in Formula 1. Well, it is great to have your company then here in FIA Formula 2 as this championship gets back underway and going. In the commentary box, my name is Omi. Delighted to be here, delighted to be back with you for this amazing championship. And we can now see the cars making their way through. And if we look trackside onto the circuit, here we go then. You can see them all making their way through very close to the grass there. Or the trees, I should say, for Logan. He is all over the grass. In terms of that, then this is the part of the circuit where you cannot afford to run too wide. Because if you do run too wide, it does mean that you find yourself not being able to rejoin the road for a couple of corners. Another thing that we need to mention this weekend is, first of all, for qualifying, we're not going to get engine audio. The reason for this is because I momentarily turned it on, as you might have heard. And these cars, remember, aren't updated. We've got some trees that have been knocked over by drivers in the background. So we've got some trees knocked over in the background. Now, if we do continue to see drivers running wide, then it possibly might need to cause a brief red flag so they can be put up. Or, guess what will happen? Then cars will go flying out of the map and we will not see their car again throughout this session. So I think that would be the safest option for every driver in this field, and a chance that everyone can actually maintain their car if trees keep being damaged. But yeah, not secure trees around this circuit. That is definitely what I will say. So Formula 1, Formula 2, if they're ramming into the trees, then yeah, I think that is exactly what is going to happen. Formula 1 especially because we go through this part, of course, you can see the ART, little bit of a jump. Oh, multiple cars off the road. Multiple cars off the road. We've got Harrison who's off. We've got Bella that's off as well. And we had Jayden off, so that is 3 cars that were wide. And I think, yeah, definitely I think at this stage, a red flag probably could be called pretty soon. As we had 3 cars off, and all of them, and Bella into the tree once again. So yeah, seems like we're going to get a brief stoppage in this session, as the cars will be heading back to the pit lane while some of these trees are sorted out. But yeah, we had 3 cars off. 3 cars off at one corner. 3 cars off at one corner, which is absolutely ridiculous. So we were getting to red flag territory with that. Well, we're under the red flag, so we're going to now get to hear from some of our drivers. First of all, let's hear from Pal.
It's never a red. I mean, what's the FIA doing at this point? It's just a racing line at this point. I don't get why we red flagging it.
So, Pal disagreeing with the decision. Let's hear from Jayden.
What on earth was Bella doing? Stopped on the track. Dangerous.
Interesting to hear as well. So we'll send Jayden out there with some B-tools for him to try sort out some of the stuff. Bella continuing to go round. And, well, we've had quite a bit from by Bella this season. Driving backwards on the circuit. All sorts. And now we've got her continuing driving out there. Jayden's immediately on the case. And apparently Bella did forget. So Jayden's out there sorting out the trees with B-tools. So, of course, disagreement from the driver. But I think in Formula 1, while there might be a lot of things like cars being recovered, all of that going on, in Formula 2, I can tell you this right now. No spare cars. If you go out of the map, you're out of the map, simple. So, I don't think... Oh, big moment. Drive flipping around is Bella on the circuit under this red flag. But yeah, if any drivers do go over the map, they're simply just out. It's as simple as that. So, with the trees being knocked over, it is the best call out there. Especially when you had 3 cars off at one corner, where they all would have... Well, we could have seen all of them possibly go over off the map. I think overnight there will definitely be some extra security installed on the outside, meaning that we won't need to have some red flags. We're getting back to 3 wide territory again. We weren't able to see this, but they were going 4 wide even earlier under the red flag. They were going 4 wide earlier. But we're getting to the 3 wide stuff. We're getting to 3 wide now out there on the pit lane exit. So they're all just waiting behind. Bella being the sensible driver out there at this stage, which is great to see as well. When Jayden's back, then we'll see, then we'll of course get him back in his car and we'll be able to tell. We will be able to tell. So we're just waiting right now for the red flag to go back to green. We're under this red flag due to drivers kicking over a bunch of trees out there, meaning that if anyone didn't brake for a corner, which by the looks of things with how some of these drivers drive, there was about a 50% chance of happening, we would have seen them eliminated from this session. Now, session will resume at 10 past. As we try, as they try get the jump, trying to get the jump early. Interesting stuff there. As we just wait for it to turn, and then as soon as it turns 10 past, they will put their foot down once again. Let's hear from the driver in the middle of this 3 wide once again, pal.
Surely a penalty, they went past the red light. Criminals.
Immediately on the case as well. Here we go then. The resumption of this session back underway, and yes, we're already getting a bunch of reports. Oh my god, we've got contact immediately momentarily in the pit lane, but back out we go onto the circuit. So finally, I think we can say that we're back going here for FIA Formula 2, and you've got Pal out there. You've also got Logo, and hopefully this time around, drivers can actually keep it going. Now, there was a corner cut, a sneaky corner cut, let's say, that was there earlier on. There was a sneaky corner cut that was there earlier on. We believe that is also gone. Of drivers just straight lining it fully on the grass, which is exactly what we were getting earlier. We're still going to get it across the weekend. And we're definitely going to get drivers running wide. And it being as close as that as it was for Logo on the exit. Right, so it's Jayden currently at the front, then it's Harrison, then it's Logo, then it's Pal, then it is Bella. Harrison saying this weekend that, well, he's got nothing to lose. He's going to go all in, and that's exactly what we want to see in this championship. We've had lots of Jayden domination. Let's see whether Harrison can find himself back up to the front. I think that is exactly what we all want to see. Talking about Jayden, he's actually in the pit lane still. So he's just chilling out there for a bit. Or chilling in the pit lane, let's say. I think that's a better way to describe it. So yes. With Jayden in the pit lane, it does mean that there's an opportunity for drivers like Harrison to find an improvement to go to the front of the field. Here comes the Prima driver across the line. And he can't do it. He's missed out by a few seconds. Powell is going quickest of all in the middle sector. And here he is. Now, the Trident man heading for the line as well. And he goes up to P3, so he gets ahead of Logo. So that's a change between 3rd and 4th. We're still early in this session, so it is still important to remember. It is still important to remember that we are going to see multiple improvements, and we're going to also, by the looks of things today, we don't usually see this much radios, but we're getting another one now. Let's hear from Jayden. So, we now hear from the Polish driver, who is going to be chasing another victory this weekend. But the main thing he wants to leave this round is, leave this round with is the championship. That is the main thing that he wants, nothing else. As that's a good lap by Logo to get himself back ahead of Pal. So that's a change for P3 once again then. So Pal and Logo currently switching at this stage, but they're both getting themselves closer to Harrison. So that's the good thing that they're doing. But the sad news is, right now no one's close to Jayden out there on the circuit. There was only a little bit. There was only a little bit amount of time. There's only a little bit amount of time that these drivers were actually able to get out there properly on the circuit before the red flag was called. We haven't seen Jayden ever since out there until now, and Harrison still hasn't been able to get too worryingly close to him. Even though I thought a lot of us would have expected him to possibly beating. He's improved his time with a good last sector. Has Sir Harrison McLaren. So Bella out of the way as Logo continues on. The driver currently in 4th with Pal back up there to P3. So those two continuing to switch a lot in this session, which is great to see. But if we're not getting a battle for first, at least we're getting something as these drivers go foot to the floor all the way down, making their way through. And then coming over the road as they still try and keep their foot in around this tight configuration of circuit it can be at points. Well, the last corner definitely, when everyone throws the car in, it goes out wide. That's definitely one of the close parts of the circuit. And then you're trying to rejoin, and it's a place where in the race you could find yourself losing out a lot of time. Seconds, we're saying. If anyone is to run wide and completely not make the corner and be stuck and then have to reverse. So that would be quite something. Pal with an improvement last time around to 54.705. That is what he has managed. And Harrison continuing to navigate himself round the circuit as he tries to get closer to Jayden. And it seems like in this session we've already seen possibly a bit of domination at the front being asserted already this early in the session. Logo's finding an improvement in the middle part of the lap. We join the Prima driver now. Can he get himself? No! A spin! A spin round at the final corner momentarily as Harrison sets a personal best in the 3rd and final sector. Pal over the soon to be over the line. Logo's over the line now, and well, it's thousands separating or hundreds separating Pal and Logo, but of course right now we see Logo not improving on this lap. Same for Pal, and another spin for Logo, this time at turn number 1. Here is the man currently in P1 looking to extend his advantage at the front of the field and go into the 52s. He's over the line with a personal best in the 2nd sector, with the fastest 3rd sector, but still no improvement. But take a look to Sir Harrison McLaren, who is going quickest of all in the 2nd sector, but he's sliding all over the place in the 3rd and the 3rd sector, which he wanted it to be good to challenge the lap of Jayden. It's an invalidation anyway in the 3rd sector, but it was a purple 2nd sector. That's about 1.5 tenths quicker than what Jayden managed. Jayden set a personal best on that lap as well. This is absolutely incredible stuff then. As we try to see whether Sir Harrison McLaren can bring his best this weekend and challenge. That'll be the question. Foot to the floor once again. And Harrison, a driver who was a contender early on in the season. Oh no! Into the wall! And into the barrier goes Logo, and that, I mean, there's not even a question that will, I think, need to be the red flag. I wouldn't say we've got a car in the wall. We don't often get that. We've got a car stuck in the wall. So that will be the tow truck. That will be the tow truck having to be deployed. So that will be the tow truck deployed. I think we'll need the ambulance out there as well. Momentarily. Or the medic team to be out there. Just to make sure that Logo's okay. Because, I mean, let's be honest. Most of the time, do we ever see cars stuck in the wall? Not really. We don't often see cars stuck in the barrier. So when we do get it, I think it's an obvious red flag, especially in qualifying. In the race, virtual safety car, red stop flag, all of those work. But for qualifying, nothing really other than a red flag can really be given for a car that's properly stuck into the wall. But yeah, we had one Prima nearly dropping it into the wall in the final corner. Then we cut to another Prima in the wall. As we'll get Jayden out there with the tow truck. Pow will also go there as well to make sure that Logo's okay. And this is really turning into, my word, the tow truck of Jayden going full speed and nearly hitting out. And interesting. Quite interesting. And that, I think, is even more interesting, right? Okay. We've got the red flag out there. Don't know how long that's gonna last after what I've literally just witnessed. And what I've witnessed after that. So, well, I know Jayden might be mad, but driving a tow truck into an F2 car is not a good idea.
Where's the driver?
So, not clever at all, as Pal uses the medic team, the tow truck cars to try get himself to Logo. Seems to have, well, before the red flag comes in, I think Pal will need to go up to Logo and check. I think Logo's managed to get to the end of the pit lane somehow, which it was very interesting to see how it was. Let's be honest, it was quite interesting, I think, personally, to see how he waited for a red flag, and then soon as the red flag was called, soon as the tow truck driver got there, it's easy reverse out. So, yeah, that will definitely be investigated, but I think also something that's going to be investigated is how the tow truck driver thinks it's appropriate to drive full speed into an F2 car. Okay, right, so we'll wait for Pal to check up on Logo, because, I mean, Logo still needs to be in good condition.
Are you okay? Jump if you are okay. Okay, that's good. Are you feeling dizzy? Take your tyres for now. Oh, so he is feeling dizzy. Take your tyres if you're not dizzy. Because that's a common cause of crashes. Right. Okay then. He's safe.
He is safe then, by the looks of things, but interesting. But definitely quite interesting, I think we have to say, how it's exactly when, as of course the session will begin at 21 past, so that's when the session will begin. But yeah, that's when we're going to get that. There will be, we're going to round it up to 19 minutes on the clock, and there we go. So we'll have to be rounded up to 19. So I guess the drivers will gain a few seconds, but a disrupted Formula 2 qualifying. A disrupted Formula 2 qualifying session that resumes once again then. And, well, it is just one of those days in this championship. Formula 2 is known for just red flags and chaos. But, yeah. We, of course, saw the moment for Logo But yeah, if anyone is able to recover their cars, they definitely are. And I mean, it's not even a request. It is just something that they have to do. No choice. If they are able to recover their car, then they have to do that immediately. And then there wouldn't be a red flag, because if we cut to a car in the barrier that is clearly, from the looks of it, fully stuck, then obviously it's a red flag straight away. So it's not the most fun that we throw the red flag out there, looking at a car that's fully stuck, and then somehow the driver manages to get it out. And oh, the Primers make contact on the circuit, and it was a spin, followed by a bit of a concertina effect for those two, as they put foot to the floor once again around the circuit. Formula 1 coverage coming from tomorrow, by the way. The streams will be set up for that later on tonight. So that's all still happening. Of course, that will continue to happen for the remainder of the season. The current timing page topper, Jayden, is going to, of course, be taking you through that. So you can make sure to join him for all of that. We're also getting an intro sorted. That could be implemented tomorrow. That could be implemented on Sunday. Who knows? But yeah. It will mostly be F2, which I think it makes more sense anyway. So F1 will get it. F1 will get to use it as well. But it's mostly F2, which I think works anyway, because next season it's only F2 once again broadcasted. So, yeah. There will be an intro created. Mostly F2 stuff. I believe there's an IndyCar clip in there as well. And that's exactly what we were talking about with Logo, who, if you run too wide, you have to get on the brakes. You have to do a turn. You have to put your foot down once again. And here we go! Improvement of time for Sir Harrison McLaren to bring the gap down between himself and Jayden. Can there really be a possibility for Harrison to beat Jayden in this qualifying session? I think there's a chance after what we've just seen. Definitely is a chance as well. The field continues to rotate their way through. Here we go. We cut to Jayden. Jayden, the driver who is looking to be called the champion driver by the end of tomorrow, at least. That would be his aim. Can he get himself closer? Can he take the 2 points and get himself closer to that? That'll be the interesting thing about that. That's an improvement for Logo. So Logo is in third position. Note now joins us. I mean, he still can. Of course, he's got 15 minutes and 40 seconds, so he can just jump in his car and he'll continue driving and he'll get a lap time on the board, and we'll see what he'll be able to manage. So yeah, we've got another driver now jumping in of note, so it will be very interesting to see how he will do in this session compared to the likes of Logo, Powell, and could he get into the mix with Harrison and Jayden? Who knows? It really is going to be that type of session where it's been on the side of just crashing and chaos with delays. We're actually getting some running in, and we're getting some improvements in. We're seeing a good battle of P3. We're seeing a good battle. Well, I think we could soon see a battle of first, and you just don't know where Note's going to filter out in all of that. That's the amazing thing of it. Bella's got a time on the board, but she'll start possibly 5th. But Note most likely will demote her down to 6th. But that will be reverse grid pole for tomorrow's sprint. So she, of course, is now left, but she's got a time on the board, even if it's a 1 minute 4.462. Got a time, and that is the crucial thing. We are still focused on Sir Harrison McLaren, seeing as he is the driver who's looking close to beating Jayden. Logo's going nicely in the second sector. Harrison's invalidated, so we're going to look to the other Prima of Logo. What is Logo going to be able to find? Out of the final corner goes Logo. Can he find the lap time to extend his advantage over Powell? Yes, he can. It is a 53.810. And we are getting really close now to a possible three-way battle. So we are getting close to that. Here is Jayden, though, trying to improve his advantage at the front, but he invalidated in the last sector to mean he won't be able to do it. Here is Sir Harrison McLaren. Notice set a slow first sector that you would expect that though on his first lap, so he'll try get up to speed next time around. Harrison set a 34.150, so he surely had a mistake down in the first sector. So there's surely been some sort of moment to cause that. And here is Logo then. Just backing out of the way of Jayden, making sure Jayden can continue on. Powell's improving in the first sector. Here is the British driver, as he tries to... Well, he's going very nicely on this lap. An improvement in the first, an improvement in the second. This is really tidy stuff from Powell, who is going to try keep it together in the third sector. It seems like he's all over the road, but it might still be a good lap by the end of it. Improvement in the first, improvement in the second, in the third sector for Powell. It is not an improvement, but overall on the lap, it is an improvement. Meaning, the top four are inside 1 second of each other. Four-way battle for pole, possibly. You still got two groups, though, in that top four. You've got Jayden Harrison, you've got Logo, Powell, who are separated by hundredths once again. And where does Note enter himself in the conversation? Here is the other Trident. He's off the road. He is off the road. And Note is going to come over the line, but he was all over the road. Sir Harrison McLaren to the front of the field. A fabulous lap. A 53.055. Not an improvement in the first, second, or third sector. Overall, though, it is a lap that gets him to the front of the field. Fabulous stuff. As we were, well, focusing. We were basically focusing on Note. We are focusing on Note, who is still down. Sir Harrison McLaren still going even quicker in the first sector. This is absolutely incredible stuff. He said he was going to go all in. He has nothing to lose. He's trying to extend his advantage at the front of the field. Oh, he's invalidated at the end, but it would have been a lap that would have taken him into the 52s. Note's finding an improvement still. This is absolutely remarkable stuff as Note goes still to P5, but it's a 54.715. Logo improves his time to a 53.4. Soon, Jayden could be at risk. Well, the Prima party that was spoiled in China, could it come back alive in Chicago? This is really turning into one of the amazing qualifying sessions. Harrison, currently at the front. Jayden wants to take it back away. He wants the championship. By the end of this round, he was super tight to the wall. He is now going for the line. He is looking for the improvement back to the front of the field. Can he get there? No. It's a 53.288 for Jayden, and it means that Harrison is still at the front with 10 minutes to go on the clock. Logo in P3, who is off the road. Logo's off the road. He'll continue that one on surely. So while Logo might have some good pace, the mistakes are creeping in. This is really, well, it started off with a session with red flags. It started off with red flags. It started off with chaos. It started off seemingly like Jayden was just going to dominate and we'd be here falling asleep with Jayden taking pole as usual, winning everything like he has done this entire season. No, Sir Harrison McLaren. Well, I don't usually like when drivers just talk a lot. Improving his time as Jayden, but still it's behind Harrison. But it's now close. It's very close between the two of them. But yeah, I don't really like usually when we see drivers just talk and then they can't deliver on the circuit. So we've seen it a lot this season in F2 where drivers say that they're going to do this, they're going to do that, and then they just never live up to it. And it's the same thing every weekend. Harrison, though, has said that he is going to cook this weekend in F2. And he's doing absolutely exactly that. So, he is living up to his word. He is trying still to push on because he knows that Jayden is just 23 milliseconds away. Jayden's 23 milliseconds away from Sir Harrison McLaren. So Harrison knows that he's got to improve his time even further to ensure that there is no contest for Jayden to try to take it back away. Note still in 5th. He is trying to build up and get closer and attack Pal and Logo. As it stands, Bella will start on reverse grid pole. I think that seems a certainty now. Don't think we're going to see any other thing in terms of that. But definitely game on. Definitely game on. In terms of the battle for pole, the battle for 3rd, those two will continue to rage on. I think let's give Pal a bit of camera. Oh, is that Jayden who spun into the pit lane? Yes, Jayden spun into the pit lane. It appears, at least, and he'll get that one going. But I don't. Well, that's not really clever. He's now blocking the road. Okay, now he's over it, having to take a warning action. There was the Trident of Note. So the Trident of Note making his way through. He invalidated on that lap anyway, did Note. Oh! Big moment for Harrison McLaren. So McLaren has gone off. And that is surely at the final corner of the circuit. He went upside down and he's got it stuck on the curb. He'll need to reverse. He'll need to reverse. Now this is the hard thing about this circuit. That if you are over the road, it might not be the most easiest to get it back in. He's into the pit lane now. We have seen so many drivers off today. Pal hasn't been off though. I mean, we haven't seen him off yet. I think he might have been off at some point, but we haven't seen him off yet. So yeah, well, I wanted to give Pal some camera time because I don't know how much time we're gonna have at the end of the session for it. But then, oh well, okay, there we go. He's now had a half spin. But yeah, I said that. And then Jayden decided to have a spin in the pit lane entry. So yeah, we'll try at least until someone's finding an improvement. Because to be fair, Pal's in an interesting battle for P3, even though he's a few tenths away. The gap is closer between 1st and 2nd. But Harrison is really performing this weekend. Absolutely beautifully. This is amazing to see. 6 minutes and 20 seconds. On the clock. And here we go with Palden over the line once again. Could we really be on? Could we really be on for Jayden not taking the 2 points today? Even though I think that is what lots expected. But I think he might still be able to live up to that. He is going quickest of all in the 1st sector. We've got 5 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock to go. And the driver trying to win this championship has set an 11.0 in the 2nd sector. Can he go all in? In the 3rd sector, he's off the road! He's off the road! On a lap that could have taken him to the front of the field. He's off. And he's had a spin, but he's gone upside down even momentarily, but he's continued now. But that was a moment at high speed where the pressure was on. The pressure was on. And it got to him. And that lets Harrison off the hook once more. In terms of possibly Jayden finding an improvement that could upset the order at the front. This is absolutely on the edge. Can Sir Harrison McLaren take it further away from Jayden? But we're going to be in for 2 exciting races this weekend. We're going to be in for 2 exciting races this weekend. As let's hear now from the ART driver in the picture who just had a big moment on the circuit a few moments ago.
The hell's Logo doing? This guy just blocked my lap. Idiot.
So, interesting to hear about that. Well, if there is any footage submitted, because we didn't clearly see that, if there is anything submitted, then it might be looked at. Of course, you do also have to consider in this session that it will get, if a penalty is applied, it's applied to the next race. and that would be the sprint race. So that would actually affect Logo, and that would promote Jayden and Harrison up a few places in the sprint. As it currently stands, though, right, let's hear from the driver who's currently in 4th position, Pal.
Let's go fucking Pal Mental. Come on.
Here we go. I'm really enjoying this now. Let's see what is. Right, okay, let's work this out. What is this? Pal Mental now. Let's find out. On there on the circuit. 3 minutes 20 seconds on the clock to go. Well, he improved in the last sector while doing on a lap where he was doing a radio to us. So. Okay. Well, I think everyone can be a little bit worried by the looks of things. Oh, off the road goes Harrison. Yeah, I think Harrison might have been that worried that he had to go that far off the road to make it as Pal was coming up towards him at turn 1. Okay, well, let's see. Well, he's not improving in the first sector. He's actually unsure about this. Well, let's wait for the end of the lap. Let's give him 1 lap at least, and then we'll focus back on Jayden and Harrison as they battle over pole. Let's give him 1 lap at least to see whether there is this Pal Mental thing, or is it just more talk? Oh my goodness me! Nearly into the wall, and he's off the road. So we're not going to get it this lap. Same thing for Logo, nearly off, and we're going to see some big moments in the race. I think we could see a battle between 2 drivers, and they both go off at that corner. Well, we'll cut back to Pal if he's improving at all. When we can, of course. If there is improvement between first and second, then we might need to focus on them. But if we do see any green sectors, we'll focus on those drivers. 2 minutes. And now we're really just counting down, aren't we? Just counting down to what could be a very exciting ending to Formula 2 qualifying here in Chicago. The first on-track action of the weekend as well. So this is, of course, the first on-track action, as we mentioned, of the weekend. Here's Harrison. 1 minute 30 on the clock for these two to find an improvement. Harrison's gone off. He'll need to try continue because he can get 2 more laps in after this. He needs to continue. He'll get 2 more laps in. And off the road, there goes Pal. The drivers will get 2 more laps if they're just crossing the line now. A lap is 53, so they'll come across the line, then they'll be able to begin a final lap as well after this. Well, that's barring unless they have a lap that's about longer than about 1 minute. So a major mistake probably could cost them. So, oh, well, that's Pal having a bit of a snap on the rear, so that might be this lap done. He'll continue pushing on, of course, because he's got to get to the flag. Same with Note. Oh! And there we go. You've got Harrison finding a moment. What happened there? We had... Hard to tell. There we go. So, Harrison finding an improvement. Harrison's going quickly at the moment in the first sector. Purple through that first sector. Jayden's begun his final lap. Can Sir Harrison McLaren take it further away from Jayden over the line? No. It is a 53.6. He begins his final lap. Jayden's on his final lap to try and take it away. The checkered flag is waving at the end of a very exciting Formula 2 qualifying session. The first sector doesn't look like that it will be enough for Jayden to do anything up against Harrison. He will need to provide the best third sector if he wants to take pole position away. The Prima driver currently on for it. Jayden close to the wall on the exit, and now goes for the line, goes for pole position. Can Jayden do it over the line? He can't, and it's Sir Harrison McLaren, by the looks of things, who didn't need any improvement at the end. His improvement earlier on in the session may have just guaranteed himself pole position, but unless someone has a very mega third sector, it will be a pole position that will absolutely count. And Jayden's immediately rage quitted, I believe, and left the session as well. So he is definitely a driver who is going to be not happy having lost for once. But Sir Harrison McLaren has delivered a performance to remember in Formula 2 qualifying. He is on pole for the feature race in Chicago. Incredible stuff from him. And, well, we'll have to wait for the drivers. We're going to have to wait for the drivers, of course, to make their way through to the pit lane. And then we'll be able to speak to them. I am not this weekend in Chicago. I am in the Omi Studios this week. So we'll be around the podium. And the camera team that's over there will take the cameras up, the wireless cameras up to the drivers. And a call will be connected between myself and the drivers in the field, or the top 3 in the field, I think is a better way of describing that. As we now look at the commentator's cam for a moment, back onto the circuit we look, and you can see out there on the circuit that jumping out of the car is Sir Harrison McLaren. A superb performance from him. And it's going to be Harrison, it will be Jayden, and it will also be Logo as well. That will be your top 3. And I think we're going to now get a chance to actually hear from Logo first of all. So let's actually hear from the Prima man as we take the camera up to him. So, Logo, fantastic stuff from you today. How was that qualifying session for you out there?
I think the best I could do, really. Harrison, obviously Jay and Harrison out of another league. But P3 good. Good fight with Pal until the end. Obviously got a quicker lap then. But yeah, good overall.
Yeah, okay, well, looking ahead to the 2 races, how do you think you're going to get on there?
I think gonna have to try and catch up to Alex, really. I think that's the best I can do. But I think it's very much possible, yeah.
Okay, well, brilliant stuff. Good luck in the races this weekend.
Thank you.
Okay, well, no Jayden, as he's decided to, and I'm going to just describe it how it is, rage quit, as per usual, for losing once, which I find quite interesting. So we're going to take it over. We're going to take the camera a bit more further over to Sir Harrison McLaren. Already has got his Red Bull kit on for next season. So, Sir Harrison McLaren, well, he said you had nothing to lose going into this weekend. You said you were going to go all in. It seems like you've been able to do it because you've beaten Jayden in qualifying. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that was probably one of my best qualifying laps I've ever done. Car was a bit weird today. I don't know what it was. Riz was losing every corner. So once you kind of work that bit out, I mean, the laps started coming in and improvements slowly started coming.
Right, okay, well, first of all, of course, we do have to start off with the early part of the session. So where we, of course, had lots of red flags and all of that. You had a 1-second gap to Jayden for most of it. So what was it back then which you weren't able to find compared to what you were able to find later on in the session?
I think it was a mixture of confidence and grip mostly. So grip was the main problem in that qualifying session for me, and I think for Logo as well, he was complaining quite a bit. We were losing it mostly at turn 1, so once you build that confidence up and make it so you don't lose the rear all the time, I think that's when the lap time started coming for me.
Okay, well, looking ahead to the races, do you think you'll be able to beat Jayden?
I think the sprint race will be a bit harder for me because, of course, there's lots more people to get past. But main race, if I can keep saying consistent laps, not making mistakes like I was today, then yeah, definitely can.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I believe Jayden's back, so we'll wait for him to come to the podium. Not the podium, the top 3. The top 3 stands over there with the Prima cars. second, well, the ART second place isn't there, but we'll hopefully be able to speak to him if he comes up to or near Sir Harrison McLaren. And yeah, I think that's a bit more like what Jayden's sportsmanship should be, especially as a champion, not just rage quitting about that he's lost the session. I mean, to be fair, if he doesn't swear, I'm absolutely fine with him just complaining and raging at whatever happened out there on the circuit. So we're going to let him do that now. So Jayden, what actually happened out there? Because it seemed like you weren't really happy.
I don't know. Not that much grip at the exit of turn number 1, kept sliding, and last 2 corners were.
So, is that the thing that's made you angry? Or
Yeah.
right. Okay, well, you did say that you were blocked by Logo. So what happened with that?
Yeah, he just came out the pit lane. He got behind Al. I don't know whether he saw me or not, but towards turn number 1, I had a half spin, and then Logo just pretty much just didn't move out the way all the way down towards turn number 1, and I hit the back of him.
Okay, well, yeah, thank you very much on that. Before we quickly ask your thoughts on the races, so, yeah, just quickly to go back to the start, because I'm still slightly confused. Is it what you wrote at 5:41 in the Discord? That thing? Is that related with the grip that you were complaining about?
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's quite interesting to, well, see. Not in the best way, if we're honest, but... Right. Okay, well, let's just ask your thoughts on the races then. Yeah, let's just ask your thoughts on the races. Yeah, thoughts on the sprint and feature race coming up? I'm kind of speechless, so yeah, I'll let you do a bit of talking. Thoughts on the races coming up?
Sprint race might be easy. Feature race, I don't know.
Do you think you're going to win the championship this round?
Maybe. I don't know. Possibly. Can't predict.
Right. So yeah, before we go, yeah, one final question then. I just want to get this point cleared about the grip. So Harrison said that he was struggling with the grip. So if everyone's struggling with the grip, then what is it that makes it unfair for you? Is what I'm trying to work out here.
Oh, it's unfair for everyone really. I've been struggling for grip like for most of the rounds, Fiji and Brazil, here as well. So,
Yeah, but we do see, well, but do remember one thing. If we're looking at realistic, this is the first on-track action of the weekend. You would expect this circuit to not have good grip. So yeah, I am quite interested to actually see. But if everyone's struggling with it, then what is it that made it ultra unfair for you? Is my question, because it seems like you're complaining more than others, or was it just purely due to the fact you lost?
pretty much like Verstappen news dominated. He got a second or third. He's saying on the radio. But yeah, obviously, today just car was just sliding around quite a lot, and last 2 corners they were, yeah, the grip after turn. Well, the grip was there at most parts of the circuit. Turn 1, I just kept on having a half spin. It's just the last 2 corners. Just I go wide, and then that's it, really. So, and that's all logo experiencing it. Well, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much. We'll let you, of course, get to Houghton now. But that is going to wrap it up for FIA Formula 2, as we're going to, with the camera, stare at the Prima of Harrison, who is going to be a pole sitter on Sunday. But for tomorrow, it will be Bella that will start on pole. Will she be able to maintain the lead on lap 1 and all throughout the race? You'll have to join us to find out when FIA Formula 2 goes racing here in Chicago. Goodbye.